Okay, so we are going to begin our class quickly with attendance, right? Little bit of housekeeping, which is about where you guys are in terms of your activities and assignments. Let me share the link with Jacqueline, who is not well. Okay, Ishan, I will have a look at it and give my feedback, okay, in a minute. All right, let's begin with the attendance and then we get going. Okay. Celia, Giselle, I can't see you with the mask. Cherry, okay. Ishan, Yana, Zoe, Paula, Cecilia, Jacqueline is not well. Simpson, you're here. Snow, Jason, Joyce, Esther, Susan, Zoe, Rosalind, White, and Vicky. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So I believe everyone is clear about IRB. Yeah. Okay. I repeat the IRB files that Aurora. Aurora, I didn't see that. I hope you shared it in the group, right? Did you share in the group? 4 documents? Okay. Those 4 documents, including flyer. How are you going to recruit your participants? I know for this class project, you're not going to invite 100 or 50 people, but you should have at least 20 to 30 people to run your experiment. If you have more, it's wonderful. But if you can't, it's okay for a class project. But those who are planning to do their capstone, please make sure not less than 200 participants or 300 participants. So you might say, Professor, I do not need a flyer to recruit my participants. I still want you to make a flyer and a call for participation. All the documents that Aurora shared last night need to go as an appendix to your draft, to your project. Is that okay, everyone? Yeah? Okay. Thank you. So we will move forward. Unit 3 is done. We move forward this week to Unit 4. But before that, I would also like you to open your syllabus for us to see where are we, right? Where are we and what are the activities and assignments that are due? So let's go to, oops, I'm sorry, you can't see. Okay. Week 3, we already had the paper review by Simpson and Jason, and a very good job to begin with. So we are very good with week 3. Now, research snapshot draft is due. Now, draft means have I given the feedback, right? So I'm going to go quickly with everyone and ask, have I given you the feedback? I know some of you have finalized it. So, within here, have I given you the feedback? I remember. Yes. Both of you? Have I given you? Today. Today? Today? Two groups? Done, 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 done. And you just said. So there are two groups left. Okay? So two couples, two pairs left. Do not forget to send me your snapshot. Once I say it's okay, I would like you to print it and stick it outside my office. Please, if you do that, I will be very happy. If you do not do that, I will not do anything. I might feel like, oh, they don't listen to me. Okay, that's one thing. This week, we are going to be focusing on something very important, is the variables in the study. And I guess while we do our lecture activities for this week, you will be able to refine your study. Now, I know I have looked at your study sample, so I remember yours. Simpson just came to discuss. You guys share your study? No. It's time that you show me the study that you are going to replicate. Now listen carefully. While talking to Simpson, I realized some of you might have misunderstood what I said. You do not need to pick just one study and replicate it. You can have multiple studies and say, I'm going to take this idea from this paper, and I'm going to take this idea from this and this. You can have 2 or 3 papers, right? But if you would like to replicate exactly the same study, I have no problem. But if you would like to be more innovative and have a better contribution, or would like to learn more, I recommend you do not rely on just one study, right? So today we will begin with some brainstorming. After I do my talking, I'll give you something to work. And I'd like you guys to have a tentative title. What is your study going to be about, right? And I know this is week 4. Maybe this Sunday evening, I would like to see some writing. Is that okay? Yeah? This Sunday evening. Today is what? Tuesday. You have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What are you going to write this Sunday evening? Title, little bit of background, problem statement, what is missing, right? Your research questions and hypotheses. Not more than like 1,000 words or 800 words. Where are you going to upload your drafts? You can upload your drafts to Canvas. Go to Canvas. I have created a place which is called Documents. Monday morning, I'm going to download and I'm going to read and give you the feedback. This is where you can all go and this is where you can right? Here. Final project draft. You know why? It's going to tell you your similarity index. You can send me on WeChat. I'm happy to have a look at WeChat also. But there's one thing. When I read your work, I'm going to give you comments and I will share it on WeChat. Don't be shy. Okay? I will tell you these are my comments and please work on it. Is that okay? So I wish to see that by Monday evening. Leslie and Aurora, Monday morning, send me a message and say, introduction draft is due, Nikki. Remind me. Okay, this was very important. The second important question is, who is presenting this week? Thursday. Okay, great. Did you share your paper? Not yet. No hurry. You can share on Wednesday or Wednesday evening. Please always have a look at the paper that your friends are going to be talking about so that you have an idea what discussion are we going to have. Any questions, everyone? So, snapshot and introduction draft. Snapshot, complete snapshots are due. If you could print by next Monday, I'd like to come on Tuesday and see, wow, I have few snapshots stuck on my office glass, right? Office wall. And Monday, I'd like to see your introduction. Any questions? Everyone? No questions? Okay, great. Unit 4. Let's see, what will you be? Okay, so I talked about that. Snapshots, a little studio introduction, and this week's presentation. So we are good with housekeeping. Okay. I'll try not to bore you guys very much, but this lecture, I guess, is very, very important from the perspective of psychology. I know a lot of people do research in communication and English, even history, anthropology, humanities, and social sciences. But what we are going to learn today is very unique to psychology. Now, understanding what I'm going to talk about makes you a better researcher than anything else in social. Why? Because remember what did I tell you on day one? We want to be scientists. We want to be very precise. The knowledge that I give you in this week, for me personally, when I work with professors who are from communication, English, geography, even economics, they always ask, Nikki, would you have a look at it? Because we have the knowledge, psychology teaches you better knowledge about measuring variables. Okay? I know some of you have some idea about it, but as Leslie said, I will not go to curse of knowledge, and I will try to go from a baby way. Okay. Thesis evaluation. This is actually about capstone thesis. I think I will do that next week, or remind me, please. Those who will do capstone would really benefit. And why should you see? Because in this class, you're getting prepared about doing your capstone project. So I'll let you know when you decide your introduction, your topic, you keep all the things in mind because you will be doing your capstone project next year. Leslie and Aurora, please remind me. I don't want to do it now. Okay, let's begin our activity by counting 1 to 4. Then I'd like you to turn off your laptops, get into groups, and this is the work that you're going to do. Okay, one thing. For my class, please always, always, always bring a paper and a pen. Always, okay? So if you don't have it today, it's okay, you can borrow, but please make sure you have a pen and pencil. I'm going to start here. You will say 1. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Let me know. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All the ones come together very quickly. You don't have much time. All the ones, please come here. Now you no need to bring your laptops. All number 2s in one group. Number 3 come together. You can move yourself like this and be in group. Little bit faster, please. Early morning, you should be active. Put yourself into groups. One, 2, 3, and 4. Where is 2? Ask them. 2. Number 2. You're number 2? Number 2? You can sit. They can join you. You can be there. Are you coming here? Number two? Number one? Okay. Sit down. Yeah. Now your task is, come on, get sit down in a group. Your task is, I'm going to count, you will have 3 minutes to discuss with your group members. I don't know how are you going to discuss. I don't know how are you going to discuss, but you guys are good and you're good. Each group define happiness. Now, first thing you have to give me a definition of happiness to your group. Write it on paper. What is happiness? Number one. Number two, if you have to measure if someone is happy or not, how would you measure it? There are different ways you can measure, right? I'm happy to hear all the ways that you think can help you measure happiness. But I also want to see a survey. If you have to do a survey, how would you measure? Your time starts now. You have 3 minutes. 1, 2, 3, go. Ask me any questions if you have. I am watching the watch. So that you have the survey question. If you had survey, what would it look like? Yeah, what would your survey look like? Yeah, there is no right and wrong answer. There is no right and wrong answer to it. Little bit faster. 2 more minutes. Yes, please write it down and give it to me. Oh. 1 more minute. All right. Time over, everyone. Okay. You can talk or you can give it to me, the paper. You ready to give me the paper? It's okay. You can talk. Everyone's attention, please. It is not a competition. It's just brainstorming. I will begin with inviting group 3. Group 3, Sun. Group 3. How would you define happiness? You can have one person tell me the answer. Positive emotion. Group 3 said positive emotion that contributes to your well-being. Thank you very much. I will come back to you in a minute. Group 2. Where's group 2? How would you define happiness?
Find our life and things like want to share with others.
Satisfaction and meaning and sharing. Excellent. Thank you very much. And enjoy. Yes, listen, do not forget to enjoy. That's very important. Group 1. Group 1, you? Yes. How do you define happiness?
Feel happy, full of energy, fulfillment.
Full of energy and fulfillment in life. What else? And happy. What is happy? That's the thing. Maybe emotion? Yeah? Okay, great. Group 4. Where's group? Yeah. Dopamine goes high and your heartbeat goes high. Your cheeks are red. Great. Wonderful. 4 groups and 4 of you have a different way to define happiness. Is there any group that is wrong? No. Everybody's right. This is how you see happiness is. Okay. Let's go back to round number 2, which is very important. Let's begin with group 1 again. Group 1? Here. If you had to measure happiness using a survey, I know you can measure it in so many ways. How would you measure?
We were divided our survey into 3 parts.
Okay.
Life satisfaction.
Okay. Part A, life satisfaction. Yes, next. Again. Sleep quality, excellent. And
Also the
suicidal tendency, excellent. You will ask questions about these things. Do you feel like killing yourself? Did you sleep well? How satisfied you are with your life? Excellent. Group 2. Group 2? Yes. Can you guys be a little louder?
Set a scale that how many times.
Okay. How many times you smile? Excellent. How many times you smile? Right.
And after how the your
How sad? Okay. How is your satisfaction level? Group 3. Patient for future. Right. Then interest and engagement. Excellent. You want to find if they're very interested in life and they're very engaged, means they're happy. Awesome. You will also measure their relationship with friends and relatives. Okay. Group 4. Amount of dopamine in blood. You will ask them, go check your dopamine and tell me, right? The heartbeat, heartbeat rate, sleep quality. Excellent. Wonderful. Most of you understand what I want to teach you. Are you guys cool? No, I think the room is nice. So, 4 different groups conceptualize happiness in 4 different ways. You get that? So, we are talking here today, we will talk about 2 important things in psychology research. One is called construct. We've done that in PSY4230, but we did it in a very basic level. Simpson, and you can move. You can move. So we are focusing on construct, and we are also focusing on variables, right? Now, which one here is a construct and which one is a variable in your point of view? Which is a construct here? Happiness. Happiness is a construct. What is construct? Construct is just an idea that you have, right? Happiness, look. This is a psychological construct, but different researchers define it differently. Got that? Right? But all of them can successfully measure happiness. Right. Now, when I go here, there is nothing wrong in here, but these are called variables. Why do we call them variables? Because all of these variables are actually helping you measure your construct of happiness, right? What is the definition of variable? Variable means anything that has a value. You give a value, 1, 2, 3, 1 to 7, or you say yes or no. Got that? But a variable has a value that keeps changing, varies. Okay? So some people will say they will report high life satisfaction. Some people will report low life satisfaction. So this is called variable. It is varying. And it has multiple levels. What is multiple levels? High level happiness, middle level happiness, lower level happiness. So we call them variable, right? A lot of people who do not study psychology do not understand the difference between construct and variable. Okay? This was the activity. It is going to help you understand my lecture in 1 minute. So we are going to talk about theory. What is a theory? Each theory gives you construct. Psychologists have so many constructs. I will give you an example. And then they define variable to measures. In your case, you should know what construct you are interested in. And you should know the variables that you are going to use to measure your construct. Now, just one thing. I don't want to say anything is right or wrong. You guys did a wonderful job. But look here, energy, fulfillment, happy emotion. The construct that you are using should be related to these terms in your definition. You know, whose is almost the perfect? I think group 4. Group 4 defines happiness as high dopamine and high heart rate. And they are measuring also with dopamine and heart rate. Get that? So it's very important that your variables are consistent with the construct. And what, in a way, the way you conceptualize your construct is also called operational definition. See, when I really did one study, and my study was students who make more effort are successful in class. Now look, what are the two constructs that I'm using in this question? Students who, in this hypothesis, students who make effort are successful in class. What are the two important constructs? Effort and success. Okay? What was the definition of my effort? Student who wake up early in the morning, student who come very fast to class, student who push the chair, make physical effort, and make the classroom very nice. What effort are we talking about? Maybe I'm talking about effort to wake up in the morning, to come to the class on time is the effort that I am interested in. You might be thinking effort in doing homework on time, effort in trying to read again and again and understand. That is called cognitive effort. Are you interested in measuring cognitive effort or behavioral effort, physical effort? Right? You need to operationalize which effort. And based on your operational definition, you're going to find out ways how to measure it. So if I'm interested in measuring physical effort, what am I going to measure? I'm going to measure what time did you wake up? Were you late for the class? Did you arrange the classroom nicely? Did you push the chairs or you just sat down wherever you found a place? If I'm interested in cognitive effort, I'm going to ask you questions like, how many times did you read the paper? What questions came to your mind? Which resources did you use to clarify your understanding about that paper? This is cognitive effort. Now let's come to classroom success. What is classroom success? Getting an A grade? Maybe. Some people think that's success. Some people, my classroom success is I was an expert in that subject. Although I could not do well in quizzes, my project wasn't very good because my partner was not very good. I didn't get an A, but I think I was very, very successful in learning how to conduct a psychological research. So you can define success in your own words, but make sure the way you define, you should measure it accordingly. Is it clear? Great. So you won't take a lot of time. What is a construct? I'll just go through very quickly. As I said, I will not read the slides too many times. A construct is a hypothetical. What is hypothetical? Can you see effort? You can't. You can just imagine. You can perceive that. You cannot see effort, right? Oh, look, effort is coming. Hey, Mr. Effort, come and take a seat. We can see. It's a hypothetical construct. It's not directly observable. Did you notice that? If I say, can you observe happiness? What's your answer? Yes or no? Can you observe? Just see and see if this person is happy. Simpson say yes. Ishan say yes. My answer would be maybe a lot of people are very unhappy, but this hi everybody. What did you eat? You don't know inside what are they hiding. The dopamine and heartbeat will tell you the truth. So that's stress level, cortisol level. There are so many other measurements that will tell if you're happy or not. So happiness, actually, you can't really observe directly, right? Effort. I can see effort, physical effort. I can see cognitive effort. You're pretending that you are learning. I don't think. Maybe you're chatting with someone, right? Maybe you're looking at me, but you're thinking, what am I going to eat today? It's going to be lunchtime very soon. I cannot observe your effort. Got it? So there's one thing with construct, they are hypothetical, and you cannot observe them directly. I cannot observe all of this directly, so I've got these sets of variables help me measure. Okay? Some examples of construct is motivation, love, intelligence, politeness, confidence, so many things. Well, Professor, you can look at my bank balance. How do you define wealth? Nikki, you're a very poor person. It doesn't mean money. I'm poor in my kindness. I'm very poor in being nice. You see, if you tell someone somebody can be very rich, yet very poor, the heart is so small, they don't want to share their happiness. So, depends on how you operationalize your construct. So, as you form the aspect of concept, you see the dimension of subgroups of concept, and with each dimension, you must define indicators as sign for the presence or absence of the dimensions. So, right now, happiness. What are the dimensions of happiness according to you guys? Life satisfaction, positive emotion, just example, right? Well-being. If you have these three, I would consider you a happy person. So there are different researchers who have defined happiness differently. In your thesis, in your project, you must say your construct is coming from blah, blah, blah researcher, right? You can define your own, but not now, later, when you are a researcher, you have proposed a theory, and you can say, I have a construct, right? At this stage of your life, even me, I define something, but I need to take blah blah said this is this, this is this, this is. I think these three will represent. You get that? Where does this come from? There is a theory at the back. This is why I told you we need a theory to justify everything in research. If you understand all of this, you become much stronger researcher in social sciences than any of your friends who are not in psychology. So what is a variable? Variable is an event, situation, behavior. It's an event, it's a situation, event, situation, so many things. These are all variables, right? Any variable must have two or more levels. Of course, variable means it changes. It just stays the same. For example, I am going to study 10-year-old participant. That 10-year age is not a variable anymore because you're not looking at 8 years, 9 years, 11 years. You're only looking at 10 years. That's not a variable. That becomes, one of the constructs. So any variable, let's say expectation from others. This is your one indicator. Where will it go? Here, right? Expectations from others. How are you going to measure? Item number 1, number 2, might have a Likert scale for this expectation. 1 to 7. Somebody will give 1, someone will give 6, someone will give 4. Right? So this is how variable will have different levels. What are the examples of variables? So many examples of variables. Cognitive task, depression, intelligence, reaction time, rate of forgetting, level of dopamine, heartbeat, how many times your heart beats, stress, age, self-esteem, and so on. Right? For some variable, the values will have a numeric properties like this. Life satisfaction is a very popular scale. I've used it in so many of my studies. You will have 1 to 7 life satisfaction. But sometimes you may not have 1 to 3. You may just have yes or no. 1 for yes, 0 for no. Gender, boy or girl. Right? Chi-square. If you remember, we did chi-square statistics. Numerical nominal value. Eye color, major, marital status, if you're married or not. What is the role of construct? Construct help you conceptualize at the theoretical plane. What is your theory? Why do you think this will happen? Why variables are operationalized and measured at the empirical. See, look, construct our conceptualization, our idea. It comes from theoretical base. But variable should be very clear, something that you can observe. Okay? you ever watched a beauty contest, Miss World contest? No? I know, I have never seen China participating. Miss World Beauty Pageant. You've not heard of that? Okay, you should Google about that. It's a global event. Okay? There, the most beautiful women of each country will come together and they compete. And yeah, what's the Chinese word for that? There must be a Chinese word. I'm sure you guys know it. Miss Universe, Miss World. Yeah, now you know? Now you know? Hey, everybody, no? Okay, great. Yeah, if you don't know, I can show you later. I can show you. It's very interesting for you to understand the variables and construct. Just a minute. I don't know where was Miss World this year. Oh, you know what? This Miss World from India is my sister's student. Yeah. Okay, let me show you. Wonderful. Good example. I know this girl, you know. I don't know if she won the prize or not. Okay, I'm not going to open. I just want you to see, let's say this picture. Do you see this picture? This is not very clear picture. Can you see all the facial shapes and all the colors? Yeah? Someone is brown, someone is black, someone is white, someone is yellow, someone has a square face, someone has a long face. But I'm sorry, I cannot find a very good picture, but let's look at this picture. I guess this is let's look at this. You look at this, right? Look at this. All of them are so different. Black hair, very tall, blonde hair, black hair, not so tall. Look at it. So, the idea of beauty is a construct. But how do you measure beauty in these kind of so if you're a psychologist, you will say these are wrong. Yes. Because beauty in Africa is this, right? The beauty in America is this, and beauty in China is something else. This is called conceptualizing. Each country has their own conceptualization of beauty. And how do we compete? How do we decide who is the most beautiful woman on this earth? We decide. What are variables? Yeah. You know the golden ratio of face? I'm sure you know, girls know, right? Golden ratio, this should be 3 inches and 5 inches and all that. These are variables. Now, no matter where you come from, you are measured how much is your waist, how much is your breast, how much are your hips. If you fit into that dimension, whoever gets the highest score gets to win the crown. You get that? Right? So, conceptualization of beauty could be different. But they want to, this is theory. What is theory? Theory is an idea, right? Theory is an idea about beauty, what the beauty should be, blah, blah, blah. Every culture will have a different theory of beauty. You know that? In Africa, if you do not have a big bag, you're not considered very beautiful. But I know in Chinese culture, this entire culture, the smaller you are, the more beautiful you are. So this is a theory of Thai beauty, and this is a theory of African beauty. Okay? Those theory will conceptualize what beauty is, but you need to have those dimensions to be able to measure who is the most beautiful person among all these. Okay, so don't forget, construct comes from theory, abstract. But this one, variable, not abstract. You can observe. What's that? How far is your eyes from your nose? How big is your forehead? How big is your waist, your hips? Right? That is called variable. So what's the relationship between construct and variable? Construct is in theory, But to study them, we have to create variables. So this happiness exists in a theory of happiness. If you want to measure happiness, you need to have these variables. Intelligence is a construct. How do you measure? I would like to measure intelligence with IQ test or problem solving. Motivation is a construct, is an idea. How would you measure? I will measure with the variable of effort, persistence, or maybe some other. Self-esteem, anxiety. I can measure anxiety from physiological responses, heart rate, just like this group did, or self-report questionnaire. I am trembling. I did not sleep at night. I'm very worried. I'm nervous. Okay? So I hope this is clear, right? The relationship between construct and variable. What are some example of variables you see in the papers you're reading? How are they measured? Do we have enough time? I guess I will come back to this activity in a minute. Okay, we will do that. So very quickly, conceptual definition. Now, each construct, just like this, has a conceptual definition. Yeah? So we call it conceptual definition. How is the construct defined? Right? So you guys already did this activity, so you know. How did you define your construct? With own definition. Right? Behavior, internal processes, psychological construct with how it relates to other variables. How it relates to other variables. Remember? How does your conceptualization of happiness relates to energy, fulfillment, like emotions, well-being? These are all variables, right? So your conceptual definition will connect to different variables. This definition might also include that the genetic component remain very stable over time, is positively correlated with the tendency of pain. This is an example of neuroticism. For example, conceptual definition of neuroticism would be it's people's tendency to experience negative emotion, anxiety, anger, sadness. So if I want to measure neuroticism, I will focus on three variables: anxiety, sadness, and anger. Okay. What is operational definition? Operational definition is very important. So this group, this is your conceptual definition, but you decided to measure it with life satisfaction, sleep quality. Is sleep quality helping you measure energy? Group one, where is group one? Yeah, it's a point to think. There is no wrong or right answer. You can think about, I think, professor, I can argue. In that theory, they did that. This researcher did that. That's why I'm doing it. Okay? But think for yourself. You wanted to do suicidal tendency. Is this variable helping you measure this conceptualization? Got it? Now, operational definition is for your variables. Suicidal tendency. How are you going to measure it? Are you going to observe how many times somebody tried to jump off the window? Or you're going to ask them in questionnaire? Or you're going to check their laptop and see what kind of movies are they watching? Are they depressed? Are they watching How to Kill Yourself Someday? Right? So this is where your operational definition will come. So what is an operational definition? Operational definition is the definition of variable in terms precisely how will they be measured. Okay? Again, academic success. Professor, my variable is academic success. Okay, that's it. Who is happy? A person who is successful in life and in university. Good. For life, you choose life satisfaction. Successful in university, let's use university success. Success in classroom. Now, success in classroom becomes your variable. What's success? Success in making friends, success in understanding, or success in getting A's. So this is where you have to be very particular. What do you mean? So if you say, oh no, professor, I want to see academic success only as GPA. So you know what happens? When you are going to measure, you're just going to measure GPA. You're not going to measure anything else. Or you can mix two things together, but GPA will be one. So when you collect data, you will say, what's your GPA? What's your GPA? What's your GPA? That becomes your becomes your measurement of your variable. So this is why variable will have reliability and validity. In next few sessions, we will talk about different types of reliability and validity and how would you do it. So operationalizing means phenomena, ideas, required, explain working definition. How are the different, so keep in mind, let's say the term autonomy. Remember I told you about my research, my PhD research? If you open dictionary, autonomy means your ability to take your decisions on your own. But in my theory, it doesn't mean autonomy. My theory has a conceptualization. Autonomy is when you can buy your decision. If this is my conceptualization, what does it look like in operational definition? How do I measure? I always measure autonomy with 5 lines. Classroom. My teacher gives me chances to ask questions. My teacher let me tell how I feel about the class. My teacher always gives me opportunity to work on something until I'm done. So I have 5 items, very particular items to measure what autonomy means, not the one in the dictionary. Okay? So you need to avoid ambiguity and confusion and define your variable very clearly. I want you to do this. I will just finish this and then get back. So very quickly, what is a theory? Everyone must have talked about that in different classes, but theory, again, you will find different definitions. A theory is a set of interrelated proposition, concept, definition, which presents a systematic point of view. It specifies relationship, it explains and makes prediction. I love my theory, start determination theory, that I have done my thesis on. A lot of students with me have worked on self-determination theory. Three basic types. One is autonomy, competence, related. This is my. This is just an interrelated proposition, concepts, and ideas, point of views, right? You will ask me, Nikki, are you sure autonomy can make me happy? Yes, the theory says if all these 3 needs are satisfied, people are very successful in their lives. Which people? Students are very successful in class if teacher is autonomy supported. Couples are very happy in their marriage if husband and wife give autonomy, competence, relatedness to each other. Coaches. Coaches, when you learn to play, if your coach fulfills, supports these 3 needs, you are a very good athlete. What am I doing? I am making relationships. What is relationship? If the needs are fulfilled, the outcomes are very good. Nikki, where did you know this? How can you say it? What is the evidence? The evidence is more than 50,000 evidence of research papers being published. It shows people feel these 3 needs fulfilled, they have to love one another. So how accepted here? So theory began with a concept and idea. Theory had many variables. We also know how to measure those variables, right? So variables had operational definition, and when the items and operational definition have direct connection. Got that? Autonomy, the definition is you feel you own the decision. The items that I ask you relate to that definition. Got that? This is very important. If you understand that, will be very helpful. So theoretical framework, all of you might not have for this class project, but White and you, right? Sorry, Susan. White is Susan. Capstone project, you have to have a theoretical framework. So what's a theoretical framework? I just showed you My theoretical framework is if the need, autonomy, relatedness, competence is satisfied, the outcomes are positive. This is a big theoretical framework. I know that. How can I translate this framework for my own research, which is called conceptual framework. So what is a conceptual framework? This is a theoretical framework. Theory says this. How do we know? Nobody will question you because this is a very well established tested theory. It is a tested theory. We know this happens, right? Nikki decided a study. If a teacher will support autonomy, relatedness, and competence, not only teacher, even peers, your friends, teacher and friends, your outcomes are going to be wonderful. What are the outcomes? Your GPA is going to be very high. Your happiness is going to be high. And your stress is going to be very low. Theory did not say about GPA, happiness, and stress. Theory said this, positive outcomes. People use this conceptual theoretical framework to design their own conceptual framework. Got that? Now, I will go to my exam when I do my master's thesis or PhD thesis. I tell the examiners, hey, this is what I am testing in my study. What are you testing, Nikki? I'm testing if students report the teacher and their friends fulfill these needs, these are the outcomes. Then one of the examiners will say, why happiness? How can this increase happiness? And I will say, oh, this theory says blah, blah, blah. And I will also support it. There was also one study A, that showed those who fulfill the need of autonomy, competence, and relatedness had very high well-being. If they can have high well-being, I can hypothesize they will also be happy. Do you get that? So you need to argue your own conceptual framework. Why do you think this will happen? If this was too difficult for you, let me just tell you in a very fun way. Your mother says there's a theory. Theory is almost like a truth, right? So the theory is if you put sugar and bake a cake, your cake is going to be very delicious and sweet. This is a theory, isn't it? But you decide sugar is not good for health. I'm going to use maple syrup. And I believe my cake is going to be very sweet and delicious. So what is this? This is your theoretical framework. You're designing a conceptual thing. Somebody will say, let's test. If the cake is more delicious with maple syrup, or I'm going to use dates to be more healthy, no sugar. Where is this coming from? This is coming from this background. You have some support to hypothesize something in your life and test, right? If dates make your cake equally sweet, you are going to say, my theory based on other theory is working. Then you will tell your friend in Africa, can you test this and see if the cake really comes out well? Your theory is tested in 2 countries, 2 continents. Then you will tell somebody in the US, can you test this? And if they test, wow, it's working. You have a new theory based on the past theory. You get that? Right. So again, you try delicious cake. You need to have items to measure. What's the definition of delicious? Soft, sticky, hard, very sweet. You don't know. You need to have a definition which should be used in all the countries to measure your cake if it is delicious or not. Got that? Yeah? It's easy to understand. And then I will not talk more about that, but we will talk about construct validity. Construct validity is when you have to prove to your examiners, when you want to publish a paper, to your readers, that this construct happiness is measured correctly by using these 3 variables or these 2 variables. And we call that construct validity. Do not forget what I told you, write it down somewhere. When our turn comes, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I will teach you how to establish construct validity. Because you can't just wake up in the morning and say, happiness is this, I'm going to measure happiness with these three variables. Being, positive emotion, sleep quality. No, you have to prove statistically that these three represent. Okay, and we call that construct validity. We will talk about that in later classes. Excellent. I'm done with my talking, and we have very good time now to discuss the two activities. Okay, I will keep quiet for 2 minutes. And I want you to talk, discuss what we did, and ask questions. Each group, whatever we did, I can repeat. We did theory, construct, variable, theoretical framework, conceptual framework, operational definition, and conceptual definition. What are these things? How are they connected? Okay, at least one question from each group. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Okay, are we ready? Okay, which group is going to go first? Asking questions. I'm sure you have questions. Giselle, your group is ready. Okay, guys, can I have your attention now? Okay, I'll go with Giselle. Excellent. Yes. Yeah, anyone. Okay.
The theoretical framework, but if we have to talk about theory, we like before.
I do not have a very yes or no answer. Okay, it depends. Some people would, if you are using a theory, my approach is in the introduction, I would introduce theory, but only in 3 lines. So I would, for example, I would just say, satisfaction theory proposes that satisfaction of three needs leads to positive outcomes. Okay, I would just introduce my theory. I would say, this theory has been tested in physical education, in organizational settings, in personal relationship settings, but this theory has not been tested in the Chinese context, Chinese classroom. So I'm talking about my problem, and I'm also talking to the support. But I will have a standalone literature review section where I'm going to go and talk about what the theory is. Okay, if you remind me, I can show you one of my papers I've done. Okay, you all understand the question? Answer? If you have more questions about this, answer, feel free to ask. Yes.
should be into dependent variables and the independent variables should also be different. And some independent variables have concrete like the region switching behavior. I don't know what switching behavior is. I would really need a definition. Okay, that's a very good question. So what happens is, I dared I should go back to my paper because it's a good question. I dared to have my own conceptual definition in one of the recent papers. Have shared that paper, but it will take some time for you guys to look into the paper. I'll quickly show you. So that's a very, very good question. Let me show you very quickly. You can have your conceptual definition actually, but your operational definition it's a good idea to bring operational definition from past study, right? Why? Because your operational definition will guide you which scale you should use. You get it? If your operational definition about autonomy is students stand by their own decision, then you will just go to self-determination theory and get the scale because that scale is made for this. So that if you have your own operational definition, then which scale will you use to prove that? Remember, construct can be abstract, can be an idea. A variable has to be something very, very fixed, particular, which you can measure with a scale or observation or something. Does that make sense? Okay, very quickly, I will show you this. I will show you, I guess, this paper. You guys can see, right? Do you want me to turn off this light so you can see very clear? It's a very, very good question. That's why I want you guys to think this. And this class is so important. Once you know this class, you will be very strong in research. A lot of people do not understand this. Okay. Okay, here. What's your name? Vicky. No, Vicky, right? Vicky. I always have so many Vickies in my class, and Vickies have good questions. You know, one Vicky. It's okay if you don't know her, but I guess she has not graduated yet. Look at this. The study is unique in our conceptualization of psychological well-being. So I conceptualize. There are so many definitions of well-being. And each paper has measured well-being using different scales. I conceptualize well-being using subjective vitality with emotional exhaustion. These two things. So what are my variables? Subjective vitality and emotional exhaustion. Got that? Now my definition of subjective vitality and emotional exhaustion is this is my operational definition of my variable. Look, subjective vitality is defined as vigor, energy, and enthusiasm about ongoing activity. I did not make this definition. Where did I get from? I get it from then Rose 2007, 1980s. Okay? So this you can see very clearly. This is my conceptualization of well-being. It has two variables. One is vigor, another one is emotional exhaustion. Now look, I gave you the definition of vigor, vitality. Let me see emotional exhaustion. What's my definition? I should have one. Okay, at the tertiary level, academic emotion. Yeah, because rarely investigated emotionally, collectivist culture. Here, look. Okay. So I'm telling it again. Subjective vitality is described as the feeling of having energy readily available. Daphne Ryan defined vitality as the energy available to the self, right? So this is again I'm talking about in your literature review section, you can give operational definition. Sorry. And emotional exhaustion, you would also see the definition of emotional exhaustion. Yeah. Study, there must be experience of vitality. On the other hand, subjective vitality being positive. I must have had some definition. You should emotion here. Try directly to achieve it from there. Now, that's not important. The definitions are here. What is important is when I measure this variable very quickly, subjective vitality. Subjective vitality. I use a whole item, subjective vitality here from the same people. Okay. So, my variable measurement are for me, subjective vitality is how happy you are, how well you sleep. But when I come to measure subjective vitality, I am using somebody else's item. You get that? So you need to make sure the definition, operational definition, and the items you use to measure that variable are consistent. Doesn't have to be from the same person, but should be consistent. Am I clear? Okay. Another group. Two groups, questions done. What's your question? Yes. So what happens is you conceptualize. You have to do something, right? Okay. What is my knowledge about baking cake? I love to talk about baking cake. I cannot bake very good cakes, but I think it's a very easy way to understand. So what's the theory? The theory says if you put butter, sugar, egg, the cake is going to be very soft. This is the theory. Theoretical thing. Based on that recipe, I experiment with other types of cakes, right? So if I have egg, butter, this, that's my, so we call it hypothesized model. Hypothesized model means this is my idea. This is how I want my cake to be. If someone comes and say, hey Nikki, who puts carrots in cake? Then I should have some theory that says carrot makes the cake very delicious, right? So when I made my own model, as you mentioned, that you see in lots of papers, you can see a model here. Where is this model coming from? This is our model, right? So where is it coming from? This is the theoretical framework that the three needs, this has three needs and this is the opposite of that need. Actually, honestly, in real life, I have one paper that tells this and this. And I have another paper that does not include this, but this tells this and this. I have what I did is I combined. I said, what is the mechanism? We will talk about that in next class. This is called mediating variable, right? Mechanism. How will this lead to vitality and how will this contribute to exhaustion? Did I answer your question? Yes. So this will be your idea. But with some basis. I did not wake up and say controlling will connect to exhaustion. I have some papers that show if teacher is controlling, students will experience negative. I have some
background to hypothesize this kind of model. But to be precise, once again, yes, this can come from a research. But you should know why. Why do you put eggs in a cake? Because some theory tells you eggs and you put it very soft. Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to ask if the theoretical framework, I can combine two if they have same variable.
Yes, you can. You can be very creative.
You can be very creative, no problem. Yeah. Okay. Is that okay, everybody? You good? Right. 13, 10, 10 minutes. I guess I will go to the important activity. There is a link. Okay, let's see. I shared the link yesterday, remember? Okay, let's see if going to share one link with you. I want you to go to that link and start working. I'll open the link here. It will take some time, don't panic. You can change, but I want you to think. Okay. I guess I could have done some more activities, but because we are running short of time, I'd like you to do that activity first. What's the activity? Leslie is going to share the link. Go to that link. You can go back to your places or whichever you like. Okay. I'd like you to write your name and what is going to be your tentative title. Not panic, not panic. You can't always change. I know some of you have no title, but try and think something. Okay, so I'm going to give you, let's say, 4 minutes. Aurora or Leslie, I already have a timer going on. Can you put a timer for 5 minutes? Timer for title, tentative title. Repeat. I repeat. It is not final. You can always change, but I want you to get started. Get thinking. Leslie has put a 5 minutes timer. And in 5 minutes, I want to see something. Don't say I have nothing. You will have something. Yeah. Please do that. Excellent. Anything that comes to your mind that you think you're planning to design for this class project. This will help you going. Five minutes and then I get back to your. You can always change, revise.
I've uploaded the slides for Unit 3, so please make sure this weekend you review your slides. Let's see if the timer is going. Okay. Keep an eye, everyone. How much time? 1 minute more, everyone. Excellent. Okay, guys, time's up. Please paste your results. Those who have not pasted. Number 4 is left for Jacqueline. She's not well. Okay. Everybody. Joyce. The question. Joyce. No? Is something wrong with my... Giselle, Joyce, oh, White, no, White, Susan. Try again. Okay. So, as I said, this is not your final title for sure. I know you're like, oh, what? Nikki wants it now? Yes, I want you to get going. Okay? What I can do is very quickly give you a feedback looking at it, right? Simpson just came and talked about his study. Looks very good. Face stereotype and crime journalism versus criminal face bias in China. Okay. So Simpson is good. Esther, friend supported reappraisal, examining the role of social support in enhancing emotional regulation. Esther, who's Esther? Esther. So you might have seen one paper. If I believe that you're just taking exactly the same, or not doing something new, my suggestion is you can, here your GB is emotional regulation. You may study another interesting DB, emotional regulation, and maybe 2 more. One could be social support, emotional regulation, and what are the other predictor of social support? If you have a good support, your emotions are controlled. What else? Efficacy belief. Or if I think, oh, my friends love me, my family loves me, what else I think about self-image? maybe think of other TV to make your study a little nicer. This is my suggestion. You don't have to take it. Okay? But having it replicating exactly the same study will be, and you can't just replicate exactly the same. So make sure you're adding something. Wait, Cecilia, where are you, Cecilia? Okay. Rhythm and focus, the effect of different rhythmic type of music on sustained attention to tasks and maybe problem solving or creativity. Something that is not being done in this study you can have. Okay? Now please make sure when you decide your study, think about it. How am I going to do it? Cecilia, you will have to bring people to a room. You will have to make them listen to the music and then give them some tasks. But you can also design this study in Qualtrics where they do not have to come to the room. You put different kinds of music, they will listen to the music and then they will do the task. Okay? Joy? Social responsibility, flexible work schedule, or non-profit talent recruitment. Joyce, you got samples? Will you be able to get data from these people? Or is it just your idea? I mean, that's good. Online talent, non-profit talent recruitment. Is it a company or something? Oh, for um, yeah. Oh, okay, want to show people social responsibility and flexible work, you will give them this and then you will see which one they will choose. Something like that? Yeah. Okay. Vicky, back to switching behavior. Switching behavior, I think one to another behavior. Vicky. There, right? So Vicky, again, I'd recommend you on learning efficiency. How do you operationalize learning efficiency? Good reading, good memory, what? Okay. So along with learning efficiency, you can also do motivation, engagement, anything, some more variable, right? Guys, the best thing is go to the reference section, see the studies, or go to Research Rabbit, look at the titles. You will see the same IB like you, but a lot of different DBs. Or you can also find different IBs as well, right? You don't have to read each paper, but you can have a look at the title to get some idea. From this study can become my support. Why did I propose learning efficiency, motivation, engagement? Oh, this study says motivation. Oh, this study says engagement. So you can take that. Giselle, it won't influence everyday risk taking. We talked about that. It's great. I hope you will get actualized as well. Risk taking, you could do risk taking in education, classroom, right? Or I don't know what kind of risk taking exists in educational settings. You need to research about that. See, do not expect to find answers one day on your table. This is why this is called an experimental research class. You need to do what is research? You're looking and trying to read and make sense and conceptualizing. So this is a very hands-on class. I guess gives you the best experience about research. Celia, first impression of online meeting, a replication of visual cues and gender effect. Excellent. Celia, where are you, Celia? Okay. Is it exactly the same study?
No, it may be.
Yeah, you can add some more things. Very interesting. Visual cues, maybe maybe some more things. Yeah, good. Very good, actually. Very interesting study. How would you do it would be a challenge, but do not worry. Be creative. Once your study is good, you can apply for a grant, then have a lot of people do it in nice laboratory settings. But for my class, like I really like this clear study. It was very difficult to do it. First impression of online meetings, you have to send samples and everybody has to log in and have their report their feelings. a little difficult, but you can do with 10 to 15 people for this class. And if it works well, you can expand on it. So the double-edged sword of creativity, examining learning autonomy, evaluating apprehension, and mediation evaluation. Complex enough. I hope you're not just copy paste. You have added so many things of your own, right? Yeah. So Zoe, I believe whatever you are proposing, your framework has some basic. Why? No? 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 Positive and negative feedback on motivation. You can find like 10,000 studies on this. Okay? If you don't want to do it 10,001 times. Right? We know that. If a teacher gives positive feedback, negative feedback, how it works. So think of ways to know how would you make this study unique, right? Written feedback, verbal feedback, positive written feedback, negative verbal feedback, right? Verbal and written feedback, online, face-to-face. Not only motivation, you can also check people's emotions, their moods. If you get negative feedback online, does it affect your mood? If you get negative feedback face-to-face, does it affect your mood? So be more creative, no, because it's a very, very common study. Hola, again, you will find 20,000 studies on parenting style and psychological style. Everyone knows parenting style. What is new in your style? Right? Maybe you're interested in studying parenting style and ambitions in life. Like, does it matter what kind of parenting and what you want to become in your life? Be more creative with your DB, right? Again, you do not want to do a study which is like has been done so many times. It is again okay for my class. I will not be mad at you, but for your capstone project, you can never do these. So there are so many of them. Okay, Susan. Susan. Okay, Susan. Prevalence of depressive and anxiety system in college students in China. Very, very, very. This is Susan, right? Yeah, Susan. Maybe you would like to be unique in terms of you did. Okay. Susan, the impact of learned optimism technique. Awesome. Great. Very good. White. The role of fear of missing out on college students' learning engagement. Excellent. White, I like your IB. Students' learning engagement is very commonly investigated. The fear of missing out. I guess you may want to do fear of missing out. Oh my God, I do not attend that. Or my self-belief or myself, right? So, with fear of missing out, you can also put something on more social phenomena. You guys actually, right? Rosalind, impact of e-health, literacy, Rosalind. What is Rosalind? Yes. So Rosalind, if you did not do e-health, everything is very common, but I really like e-health. So Rosalind, you may want to consider something with AI, right? AI, because we're talking about e-health. Okay? Cherry, effect of learning second language of student content, comprehension, and language. Cherry, you can do a little better. I know you can do much better than this. I know that. Okay? Be a little bit more creative, very quickly. Zoe, music. Where is Zoe? Zoe, thousands of papers on music and mood. You don't want to do that. Okay? Be more creative. Jason, social media elevate transform mechanism of awareness and anxiety. So Jason, again, media amplify, elevate, transform. If you're looking at these three things, your study is very good. If you're just looking at the impact of social media and anxiety, thousands of studies you don't need to do. But this looks something very new to me. If you're focusing on these, yes. Jana, correlation between frequency of family dinner and parenting child. Very cute and very interesting studies.
This young? Yeah. That's good. Like correlation, instead of correlations we make it, but this does not look like experimental study. Will you do an experiment?
Okay, guys, keep thinking about it. We will continue in next class. I have to leave. Okay, Aurora, and see you guys on Thursday. Okay, bye bye, Aurora, and